Oh, I was just about to make a story that my panel's starting. Um, Hello. Thank you for coming to Getting Started with Drawing JFashion with me, Yumi illustration. Um, just one slide about who I am. Um, that's supposed to be a cartoon drawing of me, but by day, I am an art educator, so pretty much like a high school art teacher. And on the weekends, I do illustration, just kind of like as a personal hobby, rather than taking it super seriously. I do have an Etsy page where I do sell some prints, and I have Instagram and Facebook. You're welcome to have a look, but if you are entering the what is it, the fashion walk, I I'm giving a 10% discount to all contestants who are going into the fashion walk. But currently my store is closed, so please don't get freaked out about that. This is super strange. Okay. So I'll just give you a walk through what this panel is about. My personal aim is to get at least one person to think about drawing JFashion, and then I'll go through, why draw JFashion, some tips for mindset to get started, some possible techniques for when you are starting, and finding your style. Now, these slides will make up the majority of my panel, but I will also try to address who and where to show your art when you are starting, and where to go once you have found a bit of confidence. I'll also have some space at the end for questions. I can also get my drawing program up on my tablet, and you can ask how to draw specific things, and I can show you. Yes, that's kind of the structure of my panel. Okay, so I guess before you start thinking about why, uh, before you start trying to get into this part of the hobby, think about what you want to get out of it. Like, do you really like what do you want to draw really? So, do you want to just document your own outfits, or maybe you want to design new outfits and styles? Or maybe you want to, create nice mementos for friends, or some gifts. Or I think another interesting aspect is engaging with JFashion a different way. It's one of the more cheaper ways to engage with JFashion as well. Or maybe you're just looking to have a bit more fun in your life, or get a new hobby. So have a think about what you want from engaging with drawing JFashion. I try to make another slide about why not draw JFashion. I couldn't really think of any negatives. So it's all positives from here if you want to start drawing. I had to talk to a few people about the difficulties of starting to draw in general, and I got the following responses, and I've constructed a few as well. So sometimes I hear that I can't start drawing because I haven't drawn in a long time, or I have never drawn before. I get this one a lot from my students. Another one that is quite very common, especially with older people, is I don't have time to draw. And fair enough. Lots of people have a busy lifestyle, and to shove another hobby in there is a big ask, I think. Another reason is I'm afraid that people will laugh at me. This one, especially with older people, because life is already hard. Why put yourself in another vulnerable position? Like, that is extremely valid as well. Another one is I don't have the resources to get started. Okay, that's very fair enough as well. And lastly, I suffer from this a lot as well. I can't start a drawing because I'm worried it will turn out bad. So yes, that one's a very it's always tough to start something knowing that there is a chance of failure. Yeah. So I've tried to come up with some strategies to think about when your mind is giving you these reasons. So turn the I can't start into the I can start. So instead of, I haven't drawn in a long time, you can start drawing today or tomorrow or whenever you want. It's never too late to start. You have control in starting whenever you want. Yeah. So the next one is I don't have time. Well, you the good thing about drawing is it can be a secondary task, so you can do it while listening to music or your favorite podcast or on public transport, or I dare you to draw even during this panel. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be a dedicated time for drawing. It can be some like kind of subconscious doodling if you want. The next point is I'm afraid that people will laugh at me. Well, you can start by carefully curating your audience by only showing your work to those that you trust. So that might just be one person, and that is completely fine. It might take a lot of time for you to show that one person, and you might never show anyone, and that is fine. Like, you can draw for yourself. You do not have to put it in front of an audience as long as it brings you happiness. You can just draw for yourself. The fourth reason is, not having resources. Well, you can start drawing with what you have at home. I think this is a problem, especially nowadays, that people might think that I need to have a set of Copic markers to get started drawing as a professional. I need a Cintiq. I need a iPad. No, you just need a pen and a paper. Just to get started. You don't need to be a pro. You don't need to get everything to just get started. If you cannot afford that whole pack of Copic markers, just gradually acquire them. Get one or two at a time if you really think that that will change your drawing practice. And the last one is I'm worried it will turn out bad. Just remember that not every drawing you create will turn out to be a masterpiece. That is something that I have to go over in my head as well. Practice makes progress, but you can stop drawing whenever you want. If you find that drawing actually makes you feel bad or feel self-conscious, just you can stop whenever you want. You are in control of this hobby of yours. Okay, yeah. So please have a think about those strategies if you ever get those moments of doubt. I hope my voice is okay. Okay, other tips that could help. Drawing is a very can be a very solitary hobby. So why not bring a friend along? This doesn't have to be like physically meeting them, especially in these times, but sharing your drawings over Messenger or by mail, even if that's an option, or even via Zoom call. You can have like drawing sessions with your friend, or your friend could be doing something else like knitting. That way, you both can go on this adventure together, and I think that'll be a more pleasant experience, especially if you are starting out again. Another one is start to save and collect media that inspires you. References are indispensable. So if you ever are in a drawing rut, you can always go back to your references. So you can start, like, this doesn't have to be physical media. It could be saving pictures off the internet and into a special folder for you. You might find that that one thing you saved 10 years ago is very useful to you in this current moment. Here are some art books that I always refer to. My favorite, Yuko Higuchi. I really love her detailed style, and that she draws a lot of animals. And yeah, I love her work. Of course, Kira Imai, Makoto Takahashi, and if you love video games, I totally recommend video game art books as well. This is actually my partner's, but I use it all the time. So here's a Bloodborne art book and lots of spooky things in it. But yeah, I personally love art books because they are physical, and and there's just so much in them that that you can use for your own brain. Yes, and it supports the artists that you love. And I think that's very important as well. Another thing that is useful to do when starting out is setting aside a specific space and a time for you to draw. That way you can, when you're in a certain space, like see here, I'm with my digital tablet, I know that it's time to draw. If I'm just playing around or doing work, I do it on my regular computer. Yeah, those are those slides. Here are some techniques for if you are wanting to start drawing. Some easy ones. So if you can draw a stick figure, I think you can do this. So start with drawing a stick figure, and just by changing the size of the head, it looks a lot cuter. So try that out if you haven't drawn in a long time. Even just putting a few features that look like your friends or yourself on a stick figure can change, well, it'll be very nice. I think when you're starting off as well, if your skills are at the stick figure level, just keep experimenting with those skills. So changing the position of the eyes, even a centimeter or two makes a huge difference in the look of your character. The eye size could be super cutesy in anime, or kind of like that ditto face that's really popular. Even just adding an eyelash or three can change the whole look of your stick figure. This one's a bit more gothic, isn't it? And even adding a nose. This kind of reminds me of Animal Crossing when you put a funny shaped nose on. So yeah, simple changes can transform your stick figure into a cuter looking character. After you've done that, you can think about drawing a body. So I think, looking at the simplified anatomy of Adventure Time or Animal Crossing is a really nice start, because it gives the general idea without having to be hung up on specifics such as knees or elbows. And a way to kind of draw this body type is to, again, draw your stick figure, but kind of bulk it out with basic shapes such as rectangles and circles for the hands, and maybe tiny little rectangles for the feet. And then after then, you just can erase away the joining seams between the shapes. And just by doing those steps, you get a basic body, and that's enough for you to start putting clothes on it. Before we get into clothes, sorry, you can change the body type by making your rectangles larger or smaller. You can also change the height of your character just with the stick figure. Once you're a little bit more comfortable, you can start changing the pose around. Again, using the stick figure as kind of like a stand-in skeleton. Just don't get confused between your right legs and your left legs. Yep. Okay. Next, let's put some clothes on. Especially when you're start collecting some reference pictures for you to directly look at. Break down this complex outfit into some simpler shapes. So you can see the skirt here is kind of like some kind of a triangle. The Roland jacket, kind of a rectangle. So just basically plotting out the shapes that you can see. The roses, don't worry about it. Just make some circles for now. And then after you've got those basic shapes down, you can start adding some more detail. So the buttons and turning the roses into some simple flower shapes, or maybe adding a few simple frills. You can get an idea of this EGA outfit on the left here. Lolita's a very good one for silhouette. So as we know, we can see Misako here with her large puffy petticoats under her skirt. So we know that that makes it really huge kind of rhombus shape. And yep, and a smaller square forming at the bustier part of her outfit. And then on top of that, you can draw your details. I think you don't have to make the frills super realistic at this point in time. Just do some little waves and you'll get your idea across. And it looks super cute. The next part, this slide might be a little bit difficult, is drawing the hair. Again, references are very important. So looking at Misako's hair, you can break that down into simple shapes. You know that her pigtails are starting from up here and flowing down. And in your drawing as well, pigtail starting up here and then flowing down. Her fringe is like a rectangle. And I've just drawn that basic rectangle. And you can just put in the bunny ears and the bow. After you've got the basic shapes, you can move on to integrating more detailed lines into your drawing. And already, if you sent your friend a little headshot of them, I think they'd love it. Here's Mana. I picked a very strange hairstyle. I think whatever kind of spiky shape that you draw, you'll get it right. But don't forget those kind of mullety sides of Mana's. I think the thing I wanted to point out with Mana's hair is think about where your hair is growing from on your head. So here, but on Mana it's about here. So having your lines kind of grow from that point on the head, and you will see that your drawing will look much more realistic. Don't forget the gothic makeup and the cross. You can't forget the cross. Okay. Yep. So we've got our hair and we've got our clothes and we've got our body and our face. So if you put them all together, you can create some cute little kind of caricatures of you and your friends, or some models for your new fashion style. So here's like an OG person, a Mori person, EGA, and Lolita. I try to change the sizes as well. Okay, so those are some basic steps to get you started into drawing some cute little figures, but let's take it further. Sorry. If you like drawing in this style, I totally recommend Sachiko Umoto's illustration school. It's full of cute little tutorials and drawing various things like people or animals, or my favorite part of her books is drawing flowers. Whoa. So I definitely recommend her books if you're wanting to draw lots of different things in a nice, simple style. I also know that her her illustrations are very suitable for like bullet journaling. So if you're into that as well, that could be a really cute addition to your entries. But if you want to go beyond that, you can start playing around with object heads, replacing the figures' normal faces with animal faces, fruits. I'm not sure what genre of objects a cloud is, but a cloud or flowers. I think object heads are really useful for days when you just can't get that face right and you can't draw that second eye, or it's another way to embed ideas and concepts into your artwork. I think it just looks really interesting as well, and they can make for beautiful pictures. Another thing to think about is you don't always have to draw a full body. So these 3 drawings kind of took me the same amount of time. Yes, the other 2 are a bit messier, but think about what you want to focus on in your drawing. So if you want to focus on the whole outfit, do a whole body shot. If you want to focus on certain accessories like the bag or like a necklace, do like a bust up. Or if you want to really focus on the hair and makeup, try doing like a headshot. Think about how best you want to use your time and what do you want to highlight for this technique. Okay. I really love these drawings by Fuatons. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but if you find that drawing the human body is a bit too difficult, or you don't really want to focus on that and just on the items, maybe try doing an object collage. Her ones are very beautiful and combine not just clothing but like other lifestyle things that kind of shape the idea of the person without the person being there, and I think that's very beautiful idea. It allows for a bit more freedom of composition as well. So say, for instance, you'd normally have, if you drew a person, the hat would be up here, and you can put the hat wherever you want. So I think that just gives you a bit more freedom. Okay, already 22 minutes. Lastly, try using some templates if if you want to focus on drawing the clothes. There are heaps of chibi templates on DeviantArt. Just make sure to read their terms and conditions. Like some of them, some might not want you to publish your drawings. That's fine. Just read carefully, but they are free. Another really lovely resource I like the Fashion Croquis by Preda Template. I think they have an app as well that you can draw like clothing designs on your iPad, but you can print out a range of croquis for fashion design. I especially like their website because they have a lot of inclusive fashion models. So there's skinnier body types and larger body types, and there's also one in the wheelchair. There's also children as well, and like so I definitely recommend them. Another product I super recommend are the Lolita Cord planners by Bellini Bunny. I have bought a few of them for my friends in the past, and they have absolutely loved using them as a way to document their own outfits and plan their outfits for an event. As you can see, there's a really cute silhouette for you to build upon your personal core details on top of. So really lovely products when she opens her store again. All right. Well, finding your style. I guess this is happening kind of in the middle of your artistic practice, not when you're starting, when you've done a bit of drawing and then it's been a few years. Finding your style. I think social media and especially Instagram promotes the idea of a cohesive and static style. For some artists, that is the reality. For me, definitely it is not. This is my artistic practice over the years. So from in 2013, I was doing lots of kind of scary pen kind of drawings. And I think in 2015 is when I started drawing Lolita fashion, and that's definitely influenced my artwork from there. I didn't really only want to highlight the difference of my journey, but I wanted to concentrate on the medium that I have used. So starting with the pen drawing. And then when I first started out, I really wanted to make professional looking artwork like Kira and Mai. So I was very interested in, getting it looking very polished on Photoshop. Then for some reason, I was into more like traditional ink based drawing in my sketchbook. And then moving on to my markers, actually using them. And then for some reason, I'm back to digital again. Not very sure. So yeah, your drawing practice might not just reflect your interests, but the medium that you're using at the time. But yeah, my art style is not cohesive at all, and I hope that's okay. I think it's okay. What else is there? Another thing that that might worry artists who are starting or in the middle of their process is they might worry that about copying. Like, is copying okay? Yes, I think copying is okay. It's a great way to learn, especially for if you want to discover how a certain artist did a certain part of their artwork. So when I started out, I studied a lot of Kira Mai's artwork, especially for poses and especially for lace. But I think when you copy, just make sure that well, many artists don't really like their work being copied, even if they are credited. So, like, if you don't have to upload it, I recommend not to. But more importantly, like, if you are going to upload it, always acknowledge your original source, because if you don't, someone might recognize it, and that might invite some, nasty interactions that you never really asked for. So make sure you credit the original source, and never, 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 ever sell a work that features something that you have copied from. So I guess for copying, I mean, like, directly drawing the same image. So if I drew this image again and then try to sell it, that's copying. But a different way to think about copying is kind of referencing and kind of picking and choosing. So I try to think of my style as a mashup of different things that I love from different artists and sources. So as you can see here on my skeleton girl piece I did a long time ago, she reflects different things that I was interested in at the time. So my partner was playing a lot of Dark Souls back then, and I thought that the little candle on the head was super cute. So that was definitely in my artwork. I really love Francisco Goya's art etchings, and I try to get that level of detail. Well, no, I didn't really achieve that level of detail, but the way he uses lines to convey the form of the object, I try to put that definitely in the skull. And definitely, I was definitely looking at a lot of Kira Mai's artwork for the general silhouette, and also kind of the delicateness and the elegance of the poses. So yeah, it is okay to copy. Just be just think about it as copying from many different sources, as opposed to just this one person. Yeah. And by doing that, I think you can come up with something that is special to you. And yeah, so you are a product of many different beautiful things in this world. Okay. All right. I'll just have a sip of tea just because I've been talking for 30 minutes. Okay. So you're feeling a bit more confident about your artworks, and you're thinking about who or where can you show your drawings to. When starting out, I think, oh, sorry, I just need to blow my nose. Personally, I don't think public social media is the best place to put your artworks when starting out. I definitely recommend making a private social media account. That way you can really control your audience. And that way you're not opening the invitation for like randoms to come and comment on what you do. And especially in the beginning when you are more vulnerable. Also, you can share your drawings to your friends via messaging, email, social media, or even via post when that's a bit more normal. And another thing I'd super recommend is small Facebook groups. So that might be your local community fashion page, or maybe, like a smaller drawing page between your friends. Those could be some nice options. I just feel like having social media that is public also invites a lot of internal pressure for yourself. So, counting likes or the push to post regularly. I don't think social media such as Instagram is built for artists to flourish in the first place. So to depend upon it, especially when you are starting, is a bit dangerous in my personal opinion. Once you feel more confident and that you can open up your audience, you can post your art on public social media. Okay, so when I was feeling a bit more confident, I started posting my drawings onto CGL Draw Threads. This was 5 years ago, though, and I personally found that not having my name attached to the works, it gave me a bit more freedom, allowed me to take a bit more risk, but also there wasn't that kind of pressure to attach that artwork to my name. People did ask for credits, but it was up to you if you wanted to share your details with that person. But I'm not sure about the culture nowadays. I did have a quick flick through today, but maybe, yeah. If you are thinking about doing that, this event does not really it. What is it? Have a read through if you are considering it, but the culture may have changed. It has been a long time, but I've generally found that everyone who I've drawn for has been quite grateful, because it is free art. Who doesn't want free art? But yes, just be very careful if you do plan to post there. I'm pretty sure that Reddit kind of has a same kind of community thing where you draw for people. I also know on like other Facebook groups, they have those kind of drawing threads for you to post in if you want. Okay. All right. Say if you're confident now, what can you do? There are lots of things that you can do. You can do a lot more than what is on the slide. It is your choice. World's your oyster. Here are some points that I can definitely recommend. So the first one is getting involved with your local community. If you have a local community for your fashion group. So for Lolita, there are lots of local comms, and I know that I've seen like some comms for JFashion and Gyaru. Maybe you can help with creating graphics for coming up events, or maybe you can offer some commissions as prizes. Just be careful that you are doing things on your own terms. Make sure that, lots of this stuff is volunteer based, but make sure you're comfortable with the value of your skills. Okay. I definitely recommend this because it gets your name out, but also you can create some lovely, genuine connections with people in your local community. And, people love art of themselves. So, yeah, it's a nice way to make friends as well. Another thing I can definitely recommend are art competitions. So these can actually be formal competitions or are like more informal ones. So, for instance, the draw this in your style challenges on Instagram. So, getting involved in those two things, I think is really cool. The art competitions that I've entered in the past, I love them because they have short deadlines. So, the one for Baby the Stars Shine Bright and Alice and the Pirates, those were really great because it was a way to interact with the brands directly. I don't know if they're going to do them again, but who knows? They've already done two. They might do more in the future. So keep in touch with those brands if you want to see if they do another contest. Another contest that I have entered in is the ACDC Rag Design Contest. I entered last year. I think they're trying to make it an annual thing. So definitely look into that. I think with and entering that contest has opened up a lot of opportunities for me personally. So you don't know where these contests might lead you. Just put yourself out there. Just make sure to read their terms and conditions because some people who hold contests might try to profit too much off you. So just make sure to read terms and conditions. Yeah. Another thing that you can do is to create your own shop front. So I use Etsy. I really love it, but there are a lot of fees associated with it. I haven't tried Shopify, but I've heard some good things. If you are going to start selling products, try to create products that you yourself personally can manufacture and control the manufacture of. So locally. So what I mean by that is, getting prints done at a local place or getting your stickers done at a local place. Stuff that you don't have to rely too much on another person producing at that point in time. Commissions are another good starting product as well. Another advantage of these three things is that they're low cost to start off with, but also they don't take up too much physical space, and that becomes a big problem if you're living in a small unit like I do. If you found success in that, you can then move on to charms, pins, articles of clothing, but do remember that those things do need a higher investment of money at the start, and you might not get that back if you don't have enough customers, and they need more physical storage space, definitely. So, yep, I definitely recommend starting off with the lower cost items first. It's less risky. The fourth thing you can do is you can design your own prints for fashion. I've used Spoonflower. I have really enjoyed the process of using Spoonflower. One great thing about it is, you get paid for something. Like if someone buys your design, you get a bit of money from it. Yeah, and you don't have to do anything with the manufacturing process. It's all done for you. And another thing you can do is keep making art. Just do it. Someone might ask me that, how about Redbubble? How about Society6? I'm not so sure about those two websites. Please do your research. But Redbubble in particular, I do not recommend because I've had friends who have had their artwork stolen from using that website and they had to go through a whole legal process. I don't want to scare you too much about that, but please do your research before looking into publishing your work for merchandise on those two sites. Yes. Big yellow box down the bottom here. Very important message from me, I think, to end off with is, remember, you do not have to monetize your hobby. You are allowed to engage with your hobby purely for your own entertainment or your own personal development, relaxation, whatever. Only do these things if you really truly want to, but you do not have to. It is your choice. Yes. you have control of this hobby. Okay. Oh, and you don't have to feel like you always have to make money off things that you were good at. You were okay to enjoy them for yourself. Lastly, thank you for watching. You can use this time to ask questions. There's also a little feedback thing that you can do. I will put in the chat. So yeah, I also have my drawing program up on my screen. So if you want to ask me any specific questions on how to draw things, please let me know. Oh, what's happening? Discard. All right. I don't know if anyone was even here in this panel. Okay. Any questions? Nope. Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe there are. Oh my gosh. I just saw the comments panel. Jeez. This drawing program, IUCAT, is what is it? Clip Studio Pro. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much, May, for your lovely comment. What else is there? Oh my god, I can't believe I had this whole comments panel, the whole session. I'll just scroll up to see if you have any questions. Porcelain song jellyfish. Hi, Yumi. Hello. I will type out my titles of my books in just a moment. Okay. Okay. Someone said F capitalism. Thank you very much. I agree. I agree a lot.
Yumi, hello, it's Alexis, the tech.
Hi, Alexis. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
I did tell them at the beginning that you would be doing questions at the end, so
Yeah.
all the questions are actually they've just posted them towards the end of the chat here.
Oh, great. Thank you, Alexis. Okay. The Decoro Factory asked, how do you keep yourself motivated, especially when it takes a long time to be good at drawing? I think that comes back to, oh, thank you, Alexis. That comes back to having a support unit. So if you have some close friends that you're very comfortable to share your stuff with, it becomes a kind of a motivation tool to see your friends creating, and then that kind of inspires you to keep creating, and vice versa. So I think having that connection with creative people, it goes. It's so powerful, and it can keep you motivated for years and years and years. But also, you know, having people on social media liking your work is very encouraging as well, but you cannot rely on that because social media is a fickle machine. But yes, try to invite someone on your creative journey, and who knows how long they will stick around for. Yes, let's see if there's another question. Yes, Pancako, I think it is on sale. It seems to be on sale quite often. It is. I super recommend Clip Studio. It kind of acts like Psy Painter if anyone has done that in the past before. Really lovely brushes that you can import as well. So yes, thank you. Let's see what other questions are there. Yeah. Graphics tablet versus no screen drawing tablet preference. Oh, that one's a very good question, Plop Armor. Well, I from high school until about 5 years ago, I was using the normal tablet, the one without the screen, and I loved using it. Yeah, but when I moved to my new place, I didn't have the right table and the setup, and then it became quite hard to draw with. So that's why I invested in in a Cintiq. But that's when I kind of decided I wanted to take art a bit more seriously as well. But if you're just getting started, yeah, please grab a tablet. They're quite cheap. They're like $100, I think, nowadays. But with both, with both using a tablet and like the screen one, you do need time to get used to both practices. Just because you're good with the tablet does not mean you'll find drawing on the screen any easier. I find that both you will need time to get used to how they feel, and same with physical paper and pen as well. Everything needs you need time to use and practice and feel every single material. Yes. Thank you very much for that. Good question, though. Yes. Let's see, what else is there? Thank you very much for this. Oh, yes, mermaid cult. Oh, sorry. Where can we find other Lolitas who draw, even those without storefronts? Oh, that's a good one. Maybe exploring tags on social media. I find lots of artists that I like through the Lolita fashion, Lolita art tag on social media. You can find lots of other artists in the fashion through events like this. So yes. What else? I don't really know. I'm so sorry, but try exploring your tags. You might find someone that you like. Yes. Well, do you have any tips for drawing different fabric textures or lace types? Ooh, yes. Okay, fabric textures. Here, I'm going to put on my ninja glove. Lace is actually quite simple if you really think about it. So say if that's my skirt edge, you can just do, normal lace like that. Sorry, I'll make it a bit bigger. And then if you want to go a bit more complicated, this is another one I love to use. So say if you got like 3 in a row, right? You can just make it more complicated by adding those little dots. And already looks more complicated. So lace is just about repeating the same shape over and over and over again. If you want to be a bit more time efficient and not like me, you can create some lace brushes. Clip Studio Pro is really great because that means you can only draw this and then like program it to a brush. I have made a few in the past, but not very well. So there's this one. Oh, doesn't want. Oh, there's that one that I've made. Don't really like it though. And I end up like hand drawing a lot of them, which is really not time efficient. This is one I use for my baby. Starts to shine bright. But yeah, so for these types of lace brushes, I've just drawn the pattern once, and then kind of the program stitches them together. Different fabric textures though. Let me have a think. How do I express this? So fabric textures, I think that really you can show that with opacity. Oh, if anyone knows me, I draw so slowly. My boyfriend calls me Junji Ito because I draw so slowly. But so for instance, this is a skirt, right? Sorry, I'm drawing as quick as I can. Okay, but if you want to represent like a lace, just turn your opacity down. Oh, sorry, if you want to draw like a sheer kind of gauzy kind of overlay, doing that, right? And then, sorry, I always end up drawing lace. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But like, say it comes out to here. Play with opacity. I think it's a really underrated tool to show the quality of materials. Different material textures though. Oh, fur's another really interesting one. Well, let me just finish this up. Fur's another very interesting one. So fur, I just draw like a, so say for instance, this is like a someone's collar, okay? But you want a fur collar, right? So you kind of draw squiggles, right? But then, ruffle person, Boran Plejanet, I will show you how easy it is to draw ruffles in just a moment. So with fur, after you've got that kind of mana hair, spiky mana hair, you just need to think about like where the fur is growing from. So from my head goes from a certain place, but say if I want to plot here, just kind of do some lines coming from a direction. Actually, no, that's not how I do it. I just kind of go with the shapes. Just put some random squiggles in there. And the more you do, the more it'll kind of look like fur, I feel. Okay. Yeah, that's how I kind of do fur textures though. In each, if I had more time, in each kind of fur kind of strand, I'd put more little strands in to kind of convey the direction of the fur. I don't know, that looks pretty awful. Now, Boran, I will. It's so easy to do ruffles. Hang on, that's a skirt. All right. This changed my life into drawing ruffles. Okay, that's the bottom of the skirt, right? Say if that's where I want the ruffles to stop. I've just done them really lightly. Okay, get ready for this. You you want to create this kind of line on this line. So like this. Just keep going. All right. You can go this way as well. Okay, that looks pretty awful, right? But this is where the magic happens. You start kind of dividing these into you draw a line from the top of that curve to the top of the skirt and the bottom of that curve to the top of the skirt. So like this pretty much. And that looks already much better. And this is still how I draw ruffles. Yeah, this is my secret. But say you've mastered this technique already. The next step is to make them look 3D. How do I explain that? So with the curve, you kind of join up the bottom of the curve to the top of that curve, and it looks 3D. And yeah, already ruffles. Okay, that's how I do them. What else is there? Yeah, it's so easy and like I showed, very quick. Okay, could you demonstrate how do you make the lace patterns as a stamp? I will try. Okay, so I always get this part so mixed up. Otherwise, if I can't get it right, I'll link a tutorial because I always have to refer to that. Say if I'm doing this, and then I go to edit, register material, image, Sorry, lace sample. Okay. Brush tip shape. I think I put it here. I don't really remember. Maybe it's image material. Brush. Okay. And then I go to here. I do this so irregularly, I always screw it up. Brush tip shape, material, this. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going through this. It was quite like sample, right? Yeah, there it is. This one. And then the most important thing you have to do is hang on, sorry, just give me a second. Ribbon. I think it's rib. Oh, how awful. Let's see what it looks like. Something like that, but you need to turn the lace. The process, the function is very good. I haven't mastered it yet, but yeah, if you can just get your measurements right, it'll repeat beautifully. But I hope you can see the the principles of making that. But I will drop an actual good tutorial in the event page after. What else? Yes. Yes. Oh, do you have an? Oh, do you recommend getting Japanese style mags for art? Yes. Actually, get whatever inspires you. It could be, magazines for fashion. It can be game art books like I do. Anything that inspires you is valid because, what you see right now might inspire you. That might be the perfect thing for an artwork you create 10 years in the future. Just get it all. Gosh, I'm so sorry for the difficult question. No, not at all. I'm just not very apt at using that part of the program. Do you have an art book available? No. But thank you for your interest. I have been umming and ahhing about that for a long time, but I am trying to put one together. Yes. Thank you for your interest. So it's really lovely. Any more questions? 2 more minutes. I actually didn't think this panel would take so long, but I didn't time myself talking. But thank you very much for the questions. Oh, thank you for coming. I guess this is a good. Oh, thank you. I think I have to put some kind of a feedback thing into the chat when I can figure out how to do that. So please share your feedback. Alexis, how do I put stuff in the chat? I'll just stop sharing that screen. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for not seeing your comments until the end. Oh, thank you very much, Alexis. That's great. But yeah, please leave your feedback. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Yes, if you are entering the fashion competition, I'll give you a discount when my store opens. Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Cloudberry Lady is a Finnish Lolita fashion label specialized in millinery. Cloudberry Lady creates high-quality garments and headwear suitable for all Lolita styles. In addition to ready-made items, the label also offers custom-made headwear and garments for all sizes. For Sea of Serenity, they will be releasing Moonlight Dance print blouses. For the mermaid fans, Cloudberry Lady will also release a special Adela, Arista, and Aquata print skirt. You can find them on Instagram.com/cloudberrylady and at Facebook.com/cloudberrylady. The Black Ribbon is located in the San Francisco Bay Area and utilizes local factories as well as smaller productions that are made entirely in their own studio. They produce small batch runs of clothing inspired by their favorite eras in fashion. For Sea of Serenity, they will be releasing their fall collection, including Cafe Gobelin waists, Anna Classic skirt, Forest Friend JSK skirt and OP, as well as other items like the Damask flocked kimono and an apple picking JSK pre-order. You can find them on their website at theblackribbon.com or at instagram.com/theblackribbon.